Everybody, Cashflow Kris here, taking on.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Cashflow Kris here at
What's up, everybody? Cashflow Kris with Investors Edge Real Estate Group here. You guys are all here because you want to learn how to hire your first VA. I'm very glad because we all need VAs. I've only had VAs for about a year, and they have absolutely changed my life. Absolutely phenomenal. When you get the right people on your team, you can do some amazing things. And then more than that, when you can have them extremely affordable, it's even better. So I did have an assistant. So for probably 3.5 years, I had a long-time assistant. She was great. She helped me a lot. But when I figured out that I could have my new main assistant, his name is Jordan. When I figured out I could have 3 Jordans for the cost of 1 Wendy, not even close, guys. Not even close. So there's a lot of things that you have to do to make sure things are run properly. You have to be a great manager. But when you do that, you'll change your whole business. So let's get started. Where I want to get started is, what do you delegate to a VA? And again, guys, this is highly interactive. So if you have questions, raise your hand, ask the question, and I'll answer them as we go along, okay? So a lot of people just have a really hard time figuring out what to delegate. What do we do? What do I give away? I'm sure most of you are familiar with the concept of 80-20. 80% of our results will come from 20% of our efforts. And on the flip side, it goes back and forth. So what we have to do is we have to get the 80% crap out of our life so we can focus on the 20% that makes the most difference. So I created a way to do that. So right here, you can see I was doing it this morning anyways. I do this every single day that I can. And this helps me not only track my day, see where I'm spending my time, but then it creates my to-do list that I can give away to my VAs. So this is what I recommend all entrepreneurs do. Okay, and I'll share this form with you. As you can see, it's a spreadsheet. It's nothing. So over here is your schedule, okay? So for 2 weeks, I challenge all of you for 2 weeks to track every single thing that you do, because you're gonna find a lot of time wasters. So I want you to put everything. So as you can see, I woke up, I took a shower, I spent some time with my family, I drove, I read when I drive. Here, I called myself out. From 8 to 8:30, I did BS. I talked to some people in the office. I didn't really get much done. Okay, but then I started. So I'm going to track my entire day. And so when you go back and reflect on what you're doing, you can see, hey, I got a lot of time wasters out there. One thing that, like, for example, contractors. A lot of contractors that I work with, they use this, and they will physically drive to this site, drive to that site, drive to this other site. When they do this, they see that they're driving for 5 hours a day. When, if this thing has amazing capabilities, right? Do a Zoom call, do a phone call. And so doing that, they're saving hours and hours and hours on their day. So you guys are, our time is very, very valuable. I personally charge about $500 an hour, because if you break down how much you want to make divided by 40 hours a week, you probably make a lot of money too. So the whole goal of this is to not be spending time doing $10 an hour work. You need to be doing the $200, $300, $400 an hour work, so you can be making that better money. Okay, so that was the first part. First part is the daily schedule. So I'm gonna challenge you for 2 weeks. Just write it down. It doesn't have to be on this. If it can be in your notebook, it can be online, on your phone, whatever you're best at keeping records. Track your day. Really pay attention, okay? Secondly is we want to track our to-do list, okay? So as my brain starts working in the morning, I start writing shit down. I got to do this, boom, 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 boom. And then as we start doing things, that's the third part. That's the done list, right? So if you do something, so maybe you're going to move it from the to-do list over to the done list. Or if it's just something you do, oh, something popped in my head, I had to make a phone call, I had to do this. Write it down, okay? This is where the gold comes in, okay? So you, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, you're gonna write down every single thing that you either have to do or that you did, okay? By the end of the day, end of the week, you are gonna have a massive list because we do a lot of stuff. So now you've got your big giant list, okay? Now I want you to go down and we're going to rate each of the items, okay? Like for example, write a note and deed of trust for 6. Go buy my plane ticket, pay my lender, get a W-9, right? I have all these things. So you're gonna go through and you're gonna rate them 2 ways. First of all, you're gonna rate them on level of importance. So level 1, if it's super, super important, it has to happen today. It's a 2 if it has less importance, needs to get done, but it's not vital. And then 3 are the things that, if it didn't get done, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Stuff that maybe it needs to get done, maybe not, right? So 1, 2, 3. And so now you're gonna have that rating on there. Secondly, you're gonna go through and you're gonna rate everything one more time on a scale of 1 to 3 one more time. And it's gonna be based on how easy is this task to give away, right? How easy is this task for somebody else to do? If it's super easy, anybody can do it, no problem, it's a 1. If it's something that can definitely be done by somebody else, but it needs to be trained, it's a 2. And then lastly, if it's something that only you can do, for example, what did I have on here? I guess none of this I have to do. Go to the bank, open a bank account, call your private lenders, lead generation, comping properties maybe. It all depends on your level of what's most important. So some things that you have to do yourself. So now you have your complete list and you have it rated twice. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go get all of your 1-1s. What's your 1-1? It's very important and it's very easy for somebody else to do, okay? This is your VA list. That's the first stuff that you need to get out of your life, okay? It's very important. It needs to get done. It needs to be done by somebody else though. It's very easy. Secondly, you're gonna continue with the trend of the 1s as far as importance. But then number 2, meaning, yeah, it can be done by somebody else, but it has to be trained. So let's go over my list real quick. Write up a note and deed of trust. That is important, right? My lender wants to have that today, and it's fairly easy to do, but it did take a little bit of training. So this is a 1, 2. So that is something that we are training our VAs to do. Buy the plane ticket, right? This is something I haven't given away yet. It's ridiculous. Your VAs can absolutely schedule your travel. My business partner, Brian, you guys all know BP. He's great at this. He's less particular on the details. I'm a little, I need to train them a little bit better. He's just like, book me a trip and let's go. Payments, so that is something that I need to do. I have to actually go down and get a cashier's check because I'm paying off one of my investors. So nobody else can do that. That's a 1, 3, right? So circle that one. That's on my to-do list, right? Accounting, that's definitely something that you can give away, but it probably needs to be trained. So there's a lot of things, and it's a lot of BS stuff, sending emails, making phone calls, paying bills, lots of little things in your business. And then I'll also challenge you, there's a lot of things in your personal life that you need to be outsourcing because it's not worth your time. For example, who here has a maid, right? My wife has a maid and she comes once every 2 weeks. She's $80, or the crew is $80. And that keeps my wife happy. So is my wife's happiness worth $160 a month? Absolutely. So if a lot of you guys out there are cleaning your own houses, doing your own things, what if you got that out of your life? This is one of the things that my mentor taught me when I first got started, Robin Thompson. She's just like, get all the crap out of your life. I haven't mowed the lawn in like 10 years. First of all, I suck at it. Second of all, I hate it. And third of all, it's cheap. It's one of the easy things to get out of your life. So questions, where are we at, guys? Can you mute everyone? Okay, I did mute everyone. Does anybody have any questions? Any questions on the sheet on how it works? Feel free to unmute yourself and let's talk. Got a new message. So far, so good. Okay. So everybody's going to do this, right? You're going to track your day for 2 weeks, and then you're going to take down all your to-do and done lists, because that's your list, right? So after that, how do I find a VA? So there's lots and lots of different ways to go get VAs. There's lots and lots of companies that provide virtual assistants. Personally, I feel I got super lucky. We hired a company to do simple tasks. I was the worst, guys. I'm the worst at giving things away, right? I was a do it all yourself. Nobody else can do it like me. And it's flawed thinking. Yeah, a lot of people can't do stuff as good as me, certain aspects, but other aspects, they can do stuff a lot better than me, you know? So just to let you guys know what we have. So I own a virtual assistant agency now. I partnered with 2 of my VAs and we created an entire company. We have about 20 employees and they help all of my entrepreneur friends. It seems like small business owners all pretty much need the same things in general. And so we help people learn what they need and then we help fulfill that. So we have about 20 people on the back end, but our team alone, we have 7 people. I think it might be moving up to 8. We have 7 or 8 people who are helping do our things. So let's just say they're 30 hours a week each. 7 people, that's 210 hours. I have 210 hours of my stuff happening, of things happening that I don't have to do. How did I do that before? The answer is a lot of shit didn't get done. That's the answer. And so I run a big business. You know, we own several companies and we have, 100 rental units and we run a bunch of construction companies and all that. So you may be asking, well, I don't have all that. I'm just me. I'm getting started. I'm wholesaling. So how does this apply to me? Well, it really applies to you because you don't want to get to where I got. You want to start out right. And so fill out the sheet, get your 80-20 list, and then hire somebody for 10 hours a week. I know a lot of people are going to have a hard time like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I give away? But this is it. This is how you figure it out. So $60 a week, 10 hours, $60 a week at $6 an hour, right? That will change your world. And then you start adding on. So what are you doing that you hate? Some things we can't outsource. Can you outsource cold calling? Yes. We have those contacts, but you may not be able to afford that. That may be something that you have to do right away. But there's a lot of other things like collecting lists and SMS marketing. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about something that we are actually doing that you guys can do as well. And the key to this is not necessarily that you're saving a ton, because you can do this on your own and it's not that hard, but I want to make sure that this is something that actually gets done. So let me back up a little bit. Hey, Joe, welcome. I'm going to mute you real quick. If you have any questions, type them in. This is fully interactive. Kevin missed the first 10 minutes. What's the sheet we're showing? Okay, cool. Let's back up just a second. I'm sure everybody won't mind a little bit. And I'll post this video back on the Kingdom, just so you guys know. Once it's done downloading on Zoom, we'll post it on the Kingdom so everybody else can see it. So this is just a simple little spreadsheet that I made up. On this side, I track my week. So I write down every single thing that I do throughout the day from 6 to 11:30. And, you know, even if it's driving, sleeping, eating, whatever, you write down every single thing that you do. And then in here is your to-do list. The middle is your to-do list. And this side is you write down every single thing that you've done. And then there's an exercise to go with that as far as finding out what to give away. What are the skinny columns? So I don't really use these too much, but over here it's this row is I'm supposed to be writing down whether I elevate it, which is mean I do it, I delegate it, or I remove it from my daily list. And then the I and the D, I don't even remember. I don't even remember what it is. My mind is like that sometimes. So Kevin, that's what that is. So I'll shoot you guys a copy of this, or just make your own. But that's what I want you to do. I want you to do for 2 weeks, track your day for 2 weeks. You'll find out you're wasting so much time. Everybody's like, oh, I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. When you track this shit, you're going to be like, oh, wow, I work 3 hours a day. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, and then you're going to use the system to find out what to give away. This is your 80-20 basically. That's how you find out what your 80-20 is, so you can get your 80% out of your life. All right, so let's move on. So I want to just one quick example. So a lot of us need to create leads, right? One of the best way to create leads is to create a list of motivated sellers. You know, we want people with the motivation, and then we want to hit them with the most current way. And for me, it's either reverse voicemail or it's SMS blasts. What are those? Okay, RVM, reverse voicemail. So what that is you record a generic message, and then you blast it out. And what it is it doesn't ring on their phone, but it leaves a voicemail. So they won't. It's an opportunity for you to just, both of these, what they are is you're sending a lot back out and you're seeing who comes back. You know, you're putting it out there that, hey, I'm interested in buying properties. And then you're waiting for people to come and raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested in maybe selling my property, right? That's what I like. That's what I prefer. That's the low hanging fruit. I don't want to try to go convince someone to sell their house. I'm not, and never have been a cold caller. I'm not going to nail down some guy and pound him in until I win. Like, that's not my style. I want someone who actually needs to sell, wants to sell, and is willing to sell. I think it just saves time. That's just me. So RVM is a great way to do that. So you're saying, oh, hey, this is Kris. I noticed that you have a house at, well, you know, you want to keep it general. So actually it'd be something more like, hey, this is Kris. We're looking to buy a couple houses in your area this month. If you have any interest in selling your house, please give me a call back at blah, right? And so you're not going to get too many fuck offs, right? Because you're not cold calling them. They're just going to ignore you. For the most part, they're just going to delete their message. Secondly, we like to do the SMS blasts. Why do we like to do that? Is because they get seen, like straight up. And this may change in the next 6 to 12 months as more people are doing it, and SEC regulations or SCC regulations are getting tighter. I mean, people are going to start getting in trouble. So you want to be pulling the right lists and scrubbing correctly. But an SMS blast, what it is actually, shoot, I can show you guys. Let me pull it up real quick. So an SMS is, you'll also have another easy little message. Hey, this is Kris. Wondering if you're interested in selling your property. If so, you know, send me the info. And then we get a really good response rate from those. And you don't have to talk to anybody. So here, let me go into my account and I will screen share. All right. So here's my chats. So as you can see, so what we did is we went and we bought 5,000 contacts in the Cleveland area. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, but we buy our cash flow properties in Cleveland. So, and that's what we target. Phoenix is so competitive. We don't even mess with it here. So what we'll do, so we pulled 5,000, and then from that we skip trace all 5,000. And the company that I use, they don't charge you and for anything that you don't get. So we'd have to pay for 5,000 skips. We have about 1,800 records. So here, actually, if I show you this right here, we have 1,883 contacts. Okay. So from there, what we'll do is we'll go in and we'll send out about 200 at a time, 200 text blasts. So we go in there, and here, let me go up here and show you guys. So, hi, this is Kris, and I buy homes off market so I can save on commissions. Are you open to possibly selling your property or properties? Okay, that's just one script. You want to change those up, have all kinds of different ones, see what works good, see what doesn't work good. Okay. And then you're going to get a lot of no. So those are going to be my closed. Here, let's look at our closed. See, we got a lot of closed. Okay. And so that's fine. They're not interested. But here, guys, here's the key. They saw this. They saw the text. When you send a letter, when I send a letter, they usually don't see it. It goes right in the mail. Or I'm sorry, right in the trash, right? Nobody looks at that. If you are doing the RVM, you know, maybe it'll be heard, maybe it won't. You may be like me, and my voicemail is full. You can't get voicemail on my phone. That's why I like SMS the actual best. And you can see actually this person actually subscribed, so that's great because I don't want to send them another text. It costs me 3 to 4 cents a text. Okay, so now we have this list of all people who are interested. You know, there's a lot of maybes in here. We've actually contracted one in the last week and a half, and we got all these are maybes. So this is your follow-up list, right? So why don't I show you guys this? Well, I'm showing you for 2 reasons. First of all, I think this is one of the better ways to convert leads these days. Let me stop share. But secondly, that is something that your VA can do. We are in the process of hiring a new virtual assistant to be doing this for us. And again, it's not because it's difficult, it's because it needs to get done. It's easy, it's not hard. So if they have the canned responses, you know, if they say maybe, then you say this. If they say which property, then you look it up and you see what property and you give them that address. If they say no, you remove them. If they start cursing at you, you ignore them and you know, block them. So it's easy, guys. Anybody can do this. And I'm sure a lot of new investors are going to be like, oh man, I spent 4 hours on text messages today. Well, that's a waste of time. This is one of the first things you need to be giving away because it's easy to do. You can pay somebody $6 an hour to do that. You know, you'll have to set it up and there's going to be work in the front end, but not only is it easy to do, it's going to get done. How many of us get busy in the morning, right? You have all these intentions. I can only see you, Brittany, but you're raising your hand. I appreciate that. Because everybody should be raising their hand because we all get off task so easily. So what if you had somebody that did 200 or 400 or 1,000 every single day? Consistency is the key. Where's my book? I don't have my book, but I have my journal. This is a compound effect. This is Living Your Best Year Ever from Darren Hardy. But Darren Hardy's best book is The Compound Effect. If you haven't read it or listen to it or however you want to do that. It's doing little things every single day, okay? Because what a lot of us will do is I got all my lists. You know, I sent out 1,000 text messages and it didn't work. You know, nobody wants to sell their house to me. Oh, you know, woe is me. This shit doesn't work. No. How about you do that every single day? Every single day, maybe during the week. So you're going to hire your VA for 5 hours a day. That's $30 a day. And they're going to send out and communicate with, let's just say 400 leads a day. Okay. But after a week, they've sent out 2,000. After 10 weeks, they've sent out 20,000 text messages. You might not get them the first day, second day, 18th day, but shit's going to start rolling. And then you're going to teach your VA, hey, follow up is key. All these people who said maybe, in a month, we're going to hit them again. In 2 months, we're going to hit them again. We're going to hit them again until they tell me take me off your list. And the beauty is you're not even getting yelled at because it's all through text messages. And then that's the other reason why I love SMS is because people don't want to talk on the phone. I don't know about you guys. I don't want to talk on the phone. I hate when people call me. When a cold caller calls me, I'll usually just give them shit because I don't want to talk to people. Text me. It's faster. It's easier. That's how people want to communicate these days. And then not everybody. Of course, you're going to get the person who's like, oh, yeah, will you call me so we can talk about it? Great. Call them. So I think this is one of the great places that you can start with because that's lead generation. So now who are you talking to? Now you're talking to the 5 or 6 people a week who's kind of interested, you know, maybe you are comping, you know, maybe you're at the point where you need to comp out the properties. That's certainly something you can give to your VA as well. You know, if you can do it, why can't they do it? So you could have your virtual assistant generating leads. You can have them pricing out the properties, coming up with a ballpark. So they're telling them, hey, you know, we'll be between 30 and 40 most likely, depending on the condition of your property. You know, is that something that you would entertain? If they're like, hell no, well, great, don't call them. You know, have your VA get all those. So now all you're doing is spending an hour a week calling people who raised their hand and said, yeah, I might do an offer. And then now you can focus on those people, right? You're not just busy work. Oh, I addressed 200 envelopes of letters that people are never going to open. Like, you're wasting your time, and then you think this business doesn't work when it does. You just have to be doing the right thing. So, questions. Do you send the 20,000 texts to the same 1,800 people? No, you would want, well, yes and no. So like I said, the people who said no, they're out. I'm not going to send it to them again. The people who raised their hand and said maybe, we're going to hit them up in a month. Every month we'll hit them up. But no, you want to keep your lists going. You know, you want to keep doing new lists. I do know people who do hit the same list over and over again, and a no today might be a maybe in 3 months. So you don't necessarily want to throw those lists away, but you want to keep them updated. So as far as lists, we go with batch skip tracing. That's the building that I'm in. I'm business partners with some of them on some real estate development side, and their system is awesome. I can actually, we did a call on that, but anybody who wants more info, let me know, and I'll just hook you up with the sales guys. They're awesome. They're right in the next room. So Kevin, I've sent way too many texts at once and overwhelmed myself. Pushing it to a VA would be awesome. Great. You know what, Kevin? I think we should make this a little course, right? I think we should just step 1 through 75. Here's what you do it, because we're setting it up. So I might as well just document it and give it to all of you guys because we love our kingdom members, right? 10,000 or whatever, 1,000. Yeah, that's why we don't send a lot. Because you want them to be able to right now respond. We like doing around 200 at a time. That when I'm doing it, 200. So what I'll do is I'll set it. I'm typically driving to school. I'm typically driving to work in the 7 o'clock hour. Plus, texts in the morning are typically better. And I'm in Phoenix, and Cleveland is my market. So I send them at 7 o'clock my time, and you schedule them. I can show you guys here. You schedule them to go out. So I just do it by name. And then, here we go. Let's do the history. So I just do it by name. So I'll do like L through M. Once I get around 200 to 300, and that's what we'll send out. And then I use my old, I have a couple different scripts that we use. From what we've heard, it's better to have the name of a woman if they think it's a woman. It seems to get a better response rate. I don't know if that's true or not. I just put my name Kris, but it's Kris with a K, so they probably think I'm a girl anyways. So that's cool. But yeah, Brittany got a way better response rate than Lee. We sent a bunch that said, "Hey, this is Lee," and a bunch that said, "Hey, this is Brittany," and Brittany got way more. So it may just be coincidence. So yeah, so here's ours. But look at this, guys. Look at this. 235 recipients delivered 100%. That means 100% of my messages went out. What if, and how much did they cost? Drum roll, please. 4 cents. I'm going to be moving to the batch skip once we run out of money on this one, and they're 3 cents. 3 cents. How much does your letter that they're not going to read cost? Think about that. Let's talk about that for a second. How much does your letter that they're not going to read cost? It costs your time, first of all. It's hard to have a VA. You're gonna have to hire an American to write those out. So maybe you do your daughter or your grandma or whatever. You know, we've all done that. I've always had my wife do those in the past. So if you don't charge anything for that, it's 55 cents for a stamp. It's like 3 cents for an envelope, and it's and then your labels. If you're not handwriting everything, right? Plus your paper, plus you got to print. I mean, you're easily spending 70 cents per letter. Okay, so now let's just say you send 700 letters, right? What is that? Let's do some math. So 700 letters, let's even 1,000 letters at 70 cents is $700, right? And so what if you spent that $700 doing this? So you spend, let's assume you already have your list, right? 4 cents times $700, that's, I don't know, that's a lot, guys. I don't have my calculator in front of me, but that's a lot. Let's actually do the math.
I feel like, do you mind if I say something?
Please do.
Someone posted in the Kingdom earlier about like how wholesaling isn't like it's hard to keep it consistent, and it's like it can turn into like feeling like a job. And I'm just like, what you're saying right now is exactly what you know what I mean? You're taking the responsibility off yourself to make it consistent. I mean not responsibility, but you know, less of the responsibility.
Yeah.
So it's really good to hear this.
We're some of the least reliable people that we know, right? Like, I cannot count on myself to be in here every single month, every single day at 7 and work for 5 hours. But you know what? When I'm paying somebody, that's their job, right? I'm sure we've all had jobs before, right? You go in and you do what they tell you to do, or you don't have a job anymore. So it gets done. And if you send 10,000 letters this year, you can instead send 17,000. I'm sorry, if you send 1,000 letters this year, you can, for the same price, send out 17,500 text messages. 17 times, guys. That's a lot. Kevin says, absolutely. Brittany says, we love skip tracing info as well. Yeah, we'll get you that info. Does TextMagic have the capability to remove the no's or delete individually capability? Yep, they do. And I said, we're moving from TextMagic over to our friends platform to support them. Plus it's cheaper. They're like 3 cents instead of 4 cents. Lucy says, that's amazing. Yes, Lucy, it sure is. Kevin, we went all over those. Okay, what questions do you guys have? So that was just one example. I know we're here to talk about VAs. If you guys got questions about that, ask me. So I do have a VA company. Our services start at $6, 8 to 10. Almost everything is $6 an hour though. Those are going to be our people. That's going to be within our ecosystem. If you want to not pay that much, you can go find other people that are cheaper. You know, we've had mixed experience with them. Don't pay somebody $2 an hour. You're not going to get someone good for $2 an hour. You can probably find some pretty decent people for $4 to $5 an hour, or you can within our system. Sapphire says, well, considering I just joined yesterday, I literally just learned something new. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's great. I'm glad that you joined the kingdom. For me, it's the best bang for the buck in all of real estate. I mean, everybody out there is so expensive. When I learned the business like 15 years ago, I paid $2,500, and back then that was a lot. Now, shit, good luck getting somebody on the phone for $2,500. So you guys are definitely in the right space, but I'll definitely encourage you to reach out to your mentors. I'm one of the mentors, and I hardly ever get anybody reaching out to me. If I'm busy, I'll tell you, but I'll always get back to you. Also, if you requested me as a Facebook friend, I have like 500 waiting. So I don't know that you did. So send me a private message and just say, hey, I'm in the kingdom, and I'll get rid of some bums and add you guys on. But yeah, reach out to your mentors. Hopefully you guys are watching BP's Monday Motivation. Actually, it's not motivation, it's mindset, Monday Mindset. We all need that. I mean, that was how I got over my I don't know, barriers. Let me tell you guys a quick little story on mindset. So a lot of people think that it'll keep you, that it's all negative, all negative. Oh, if I have these negative connotations about money, if I don't have a good relationship with money, if I think rich people are evil, all these things on the negative side. But I want to tell you about a positive experience that limited my ability because of my blueprint, okay? So when I was about 12 years old, I was raised very middle class. My mom drove the school bus. My dad was a police officer, right? We weren't rich, we weren't poor, we were right in the middle, very comfortable. So I remember it was in early 90s, my dad comes home and super excited because he got promoted to lieutenant, right? So he got promoted, he worked so hard. But the big thing was, now he was gonna make $60,000 a year, which for us in the early 90s, that was so much money. It was so much money. Like he had made it, right? So I got into real estate sales several years later. I got into real estate sales, and every year, my first 3 years, I ramped up to 60 like that. Because sales it's so easy to make money, you know, like anybody in sales should make six figures. I ramped up to 60, boom, next year, 60. And then one day I'm in the Jeff Fagan class. He's the one who teaches Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. He's a big influence on BP. So if you love what BP's saying, he gets a lot of it from Jeff, and Jeff gets a lot of it from T. Harv Eker. So, I mean, it's all brilliant stuff, I'll tell you that. So one day I'm sitting there and I'm like, holy shit. I think $60,000 is a lot of money. My blueprint is telling me that $60,000 is success. So forget that was 30 years ago or 20 years ago, whatever. For me, $60,000 is not a success. You know, I was limiting myself on something positive, right? So as soon as I figured that out, and really figuring it out was like just realizing it, holy shit, I think 60,000 is a lot of money. Well, I don't anymore. Boom, next year, 6 figures, easy, right? So now what's my mental hang up? Now I think, 200,000 is a lot of money or whatever. How much do you think is a lot of money? You're wrong. That's not a lot of money. That's nothing. Guys, what's our debt? Like $22 trillion. There is $22 trillion out there just floating. It's in some people's hands, some people's bank accounts. If you can't amass $1 million, you kind of suck. We all do. Because there's so much money out there. You just need to get a little bit. Just get your little piece. We should all be millionaires. So $60,000, guys, it's not a lot of money. $100,000 is not a lot of money. $1 million isn't even a lot of money. So wrap your head around that. Sapphire is definitely ready to change the trajectory of her life. That is fantastic. Kevin says, how did you change that mindset and change your blueprint? Did you just say, I want more money? I thought about it every day, affirmations. But no, I went to 2% Club every single Tuesday for at least 4 years. I read that book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and I was dirt poor. I tell you, this was like right around the crash. I don't know. It was probably 09. Like I was selling a lot of real estate, but commissions were nothing. My commissions went from like 6,000 to 600 because I was doing REOs and all this other stuff. So I didn't have money, but I read this book and it resonated with me so much. And within that, he would always do free seminars. So I booked a trip to LA to see Harv Eker by myself. I didn't have anybody who would go with me. And I just went, and it changed my life. Not because I just went to that event, because I went and I didn't have any money, so I didn't buy anything. I didn't buy the programs. I didn't do any of that. I've never actually bought the programs. I listen and I read. I read the book and I read it again and I read it again. And I read Rich Dad Poor Dad and Cashflow Quadrant. Those two were vital. And I read them. Rich Dad Poor Dad, I've probably listened to that book, because I don't like reading a lot. I've listened to that book at least 10 times. Minimum 10 times. It's all out there for you guys. How about this? How to win friends and influence people. You want to learn how to be a better entrepreneur? Read this book. Devour this book. Read it 10 times. Yeah, I mean, just that's how I did it, Kevin. Breaking my blueprint. You have to change your blueprint. I mean, I build houses for a living. So when we give the blueprints to our builder, that's what's going to be there. So if we give him a grand plan, he's going to build something grand. So if you have this shitty little shack in your head, thinking all the stuff that you were taught growing up, but that rich people are evil and this and that, and you have to do bad things to make a lot of money, and rich people don't help people. Come on, who helps people more than rich people? Nobody, as far monetarily at least. How can you give away $1 million if you can't make $1 million, right? So, and then the other one, as far as mindset, is Jim Rohn. I devour Jim Rohn. The Art of Exceptional Living is a great one. Anytime I feel bad for myself, I listen to Jim Rohn and he kicks me in the butt. So mindset, which is not even what we came here for. Have you tried texting with apartment owners? You know what, Lucy? We have not gone after that yet. No. So our list consisted of motivation. So we did tax delinquent. We did pre-foreclosure. What else did we do? I don't know. We did like 3 or 4. I'll pull those up and let you know. I think, and then the other beauty with the batch skip guys is they have lead stacker, meaning, well, first of all, their system will automatically find if they have something with the post office, so they know if that's a vacant property, and then it always updates month after month. It updates. So calling somebody in foreclosure and vacant is way, if they're living there, that's one thing, right? But if they've already given up on it, then that's 2 motivations. If they're in foreclosure and they owe taxes and it's vacant, that's why they call it stacker, because the more motivations you can get, the better. The more reasons for them to want to sell, the better. So questions, bring them, guys. Where are we at? 10:05, so we got about 10 more minutes if you guys feel like it. When we connected in Miami, your VA reached out and I started filling out the paperwork, and then I got sidetracked. Oh, I need to finish that so I can get that rolling. Appreciate you. Yes, Kevin, finish that. Our VAs are awesome, man. And then they can help you with what you need to do as well. Jordan, he'll send you, I'm sure he already did, he'll send you a link where you just answer a bunch of questions, and it helps them find out what you need and what type of a person. So what do my VAs do for us? Holy shit. It's going to be a long list. So let's go to our Facebook. So if you guys follow us, we're AZ Flip Guys. I'm Cashflow Kris. We have Investors Edge Real Estate Group. And with those, you'll see there's tons of little caricatures. My guys even actually made like a Cashflow Kris guy. They do all of our video editing. They also, all my YouTube videos, all I do is shoot the video, send it to them. They edit it. They add everything, all the scripts, titles, all that. And then they send it back to me to upload. because they don't have access to that right now. They made our websites. They're doing a lot of things. They take care of all of our pictures and stuff. So they do all of our apartment marketing. Let's talk about that, guys. BP and I have over 100 units, and we're not talking one apartment, 100 units. No, we have 2 apartments. Actually, we have like 4 apartments, all different sizes. And then we have a whole bunch of single families in Cleveland. So we are spread all over the nation, right? We're in Arkansas, South Arizona, Phoenix, and Cleveland. Our VAs run that. Me and BP spend about 3 hours on Wednesdays going over everything with them. Our VAs do that, guys. And think about it. So we have about a 3-person team. And so let's just say we pay them, I don't know, $20 total an hour. Could you hire somebody $20 an hour to run 100 units in 3 different states? No. And how would that one person do? That one person wouldn't do so great, right? Because they're just one person. It's hard. They don't have the team around the nation. You know what I mean? So they do all the little stuff. We make the big decisions because it's 80-20. A lot of people think it's even 90-10. You know, if you focus on the 10% of the most important stuff, and that's what me and BP do. We only focus on the 10-20% most important stuff, which is what? Finding more deals, finding money, growing, right? Our VAs find the tenants. They work the entire Appfolio system, which is our property management system. So our VAs market. So that first of all, they enter in the info. When we get a new property, they enter all the information into Appfolio. They send out the marketing. They run through applications. They approve and or disapprove. That's where we might come in. They might say, hey, they're right on the border. Give us a yes or no. They write the lease. They collect rents. Everything's collected through the system. They communicate with them on and our property managers on move-in. If there's any maintenance issues, our VAs are taking care of that. What else is left? Right? Adding to the portfolio is what's left. So do you guys want to like manage a portfolio or do you want to grow a portfolio? So again, there's just like 1,000,002 things that your VA can do for you. And those are a few of the things that they're doing for us. We got some questions. Chris says, can I get signed up with a VA company? Yeah, send me a messenger. Send me a messenger. Sheila, is this recorded to go back and listen to again? It is being recorded and I will post it on the Kingdom. Absolutely. Brittany says, have to jump off. Thank you. Thank you, Brittany, for being here. And Chris says, running out to a meeting. Thank you. Yes. Seems like we're done. I hope this was helpful. Reach out to me if you want information on the SMS, if you want information on the RVM, if you want information on how to hire a VA, we'll get you set up with Jordan. And if you want the spreadsheet, shoot me a message. I'll send you the spreadsheet. I think it might already be in the Kingdom, but send me a message. I'll have my VA send it to you. How about that? So yes, you're welcome. Thanks, everybody. Reach out to your mentors. We are here for you. We can answer any question that you have, and we do it for free. So much love. Talk to you guys later.